Well, so it's Sunday morning, and I just got over, pretty much done with a sickness that I had. I always seem to get sick around this time of the year, usually the week before the week of Christmas. In December I get sick, I get a cold or, some sort of bug, and, I'm out for about a week. And feeling better now, but it's just normal shit. But not too much has been going on. I'm about to mow some of the grass around here, so I might get you guys some vids of that. Separate video. Found this in the trash yesterday, actually. A buddy of mine just bought a welder, arc welder, and he wanted to get some scrap metal. So we didn't find any scrap metal, but we did find this, and I grabbed it. It's really a bit worse for wear. I don't even know if the motor itself is still good, not seized up. It actually feels okay. Might be a little hydro-locked. For whatever reason, they had this thing tipped over on its side. And all the oil leaked out of somewhere. I mean, there was just oil sloshing out of this thing. I originally thought it was coming out of the dipstick tube, which for some reason I thought was missing, but it's not. So I don't know if this thing has a hole in the block somewhere and it's just leaking and leaking. I have no clue. I only picked it up because, there's good parts off of this that I can use on one of the other Tecumseh Craftsmans I've got. I've been finding a lot more of these things recently. I really have no idea why, but I've been finding quite a few more of them. And then I also picked this up from Harbor Freight. It was on sale for 23 bucks. They had it yellow tagged, and I had a 25% off coupon that I didn't know if it would work or not, because sometimes they're pretty picky with their coupons and what sales they're running, but it gave me 25% off of the $23.99 price. So out the door I ended up paying less than 20 bucks for this thing. I think I took it down to like 17 or 18, and after tax it was like 19 and change. So walked away pretty good with that. Now the one I've been using for I don't know how many years now, and I think this was my grandfather's, is this old Mustang creeper. And it's a great little creeper. I'm going to keep it around. I'm definitely not going to get rid of it, but it's just showing its age because the wood is starting to split right here. And then there's other parts where the glue is not really holding together anymore, and it really needs to be braced and, not necessarily restored, but just fixed up. But I'm not going to get rid of this thing because it's actually a pretty awesome creeper. But I do plan on holding on to that, and I don't think my dad wants to get rid of it either. But I ended up picking this one up from Harbor Freight, as I said, and it's not nearly as good as that one. And I'm not really a big fan of these wheels. But it should do just fine for what I'm going to use it for out here. So I'll just throw this over here. Then I've got some other stuff in the truck that I need to take out, so I'll be right back. So I know some of you guys like going through a lot of small boxes like these filled with all sorts of different stuff. And I got all three of these from my grandfather. And there's some cool stuff in here, which he didn't really have much of a use for anymore. But like, some of it to show how old it is. It's got the old U-Haul logo. It's a 4-way round plug kit for a trailer. And then got some gasket material. In this little box here, there's a small funnel, spark plug, battery terminal felt washers, looks like some battery terminal hardware, battery terminal, battery hold down, battery terminal cleaner, another battery hold down, and another spark plug. There's actually a few spark plugs in all this stuff. So it looks like a lot of them are, you know, small engine stuff, which is more than fine for what I need. And then here we have a Prestone coolant tester. Some sort of pulley, it looks like. I don't really know what this stuff is. This looks like a, I don't know, maybe that goes on the end of an air hose. Don't know what that is either. Oh, that's nice. A harmonic balancer puller kit. That'll be nice to have. More trailer wiring stuff. Got a belt. It says Troy built on it, so it probably goes to some sort of small edger, something like that. It's actually a really small belt. Looks like we got wire connectors, shrink wrap, more new spark plugs. Wire bundle holders, more trailer stuff, bunch of old fuses, which I know I don't have a use for those, but my dad does. And we've got some sort of Felpro quick drying adhesive. That'll come in handy. That's about it for this box. Let's get this. I have a whole package of new, never used automotive spark plugs. Here's the part number. Got some more little funnels, which you can never have too many of these, to be honest. You've got a bunch more electrical stuff. A couple more connectors. Trailer lens for a brake light. Some wire. More wire, more electrical connectors, and more wire. In fact, all this stuff in here is electrical, so I'm going to throw all the electrical stuff back into this coffee can. But it's always cool to go through a lot of stuff like that. You know, old people are pretty much famous for keeping a lot of random crap in boxes. But I can definitely find a use for a lot of this stuff.